Here is a lesson in how to wipe the BBC out, how to smack the BBC properly. 2 easy lessons. The first one was delivered by Hua Chunying with 2 videos by Daniel Dumbrill and myself. I'm going to give you the second lesson here, okay? 大家好, Barrie here, Best China Info. And what I want to do today is relate to you an exchange between myself and the BBC. Well, that is to say, one reporter so far at the BBC. And this exchange also occurred between the BBC and Daniel Dumbrill. Now, this was after videos by myself, by Daniel and myself, were used by the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Hua Chunying.
I'm from BBC News, and I want to ask about the video you showed us earlier, which was about the BBC's relationship, as you described it, with Adrian Zenz. I was the producer who worked on all our reports on Xinjiang, which featured Adrian Zenz.
我很高兴哈，今天你来了，那非常好，请我同事再把那段再放一下。
There are 2 main sources of information that they get these stories from. The media's main source of information is a man named Adrian Zenz. Adrian Zenz, whatever you want to call it.
所以你应该找到答案。所以这是郑国恩自己的推文上说 BBC 来问他要的，但这个 BBC 是你呢，还是你的同事呢？这我就不知道了。这可能需要你们 BBC 内部呢再做进一步的这个调查。 把这个事情弄清楚，就到底他的证据哪里来的？我觉得可能这样的话呢，对你们 BBC 挽回你们的信誉呢，也是有好处的。
The elegant and wonderful Hua Chunying used our videos to smack the BBC very publicly, gave them a proper spanking, to which they had no response and no reply, and which made them look like what they are. I'm sure most of the world agrees with this. And shortly after that, the BBC approached me via emails. Both Daniel and myself, they approached us and they asked us if we would care to answer some questions and claims. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to relate to you some of the details of this exchange, the exchange certainly between myself and the BBC. As far as I know, up to now, this article that they assured me that they were going to write has not surfaced. I will also tell you why I think that is. Entirety of email correspondence between blah blah and Barrie from April the 17th. So this was April the 17th, 8:24 a.m. Now, this email, the first email that the BBC reporter sent to me, came to an email that I almost never look at. I have a site on Wix which I started a while ago to help promote my music and songs, and I haven't really given it much thought for some years now. I probably should. But the email that the BBC sent was to this Wix email. Now, why they would choose to do that when it's not difficult to find better emails for me, but that's the one they chose to send to. It was just by chance that I decided to have a look at this email system, the server one day, and I saw this email from the BBC. So I'm going to read out to you the exchange. Hi Barrie, we're currently writing a story on China and YouTubers in the country. Would we be able to speak to you about this? Many thanks. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I replied the next day, April the 18th, 1:48 p.m. Hi, blah, blah. Thanks for your email. A story on China and YouTubers in the country. Well, I might be interested. And although I wouldn't describe myself as a YouTuber exactly, some dialogue with you on this would be useful in the first instance to give me a clearer picture. So I would suggest that we have a Skype meeting or a Tencent meeting or a Zoom meeting face-to-face to discuss what this is actually all about. Cheers, Barrie. The next email from this reporter came on April the 21st, 6:34 a.m. China time. I'm not sure if it's China time, but probably that reads to me as China time. Now, I have all these emails. The whole exchange is on the server. I can't interfere with those emails, right? So what there is what it was. Exactly word for word, email for email. Every single part of that exchange exists on a server. I can't interfere with that. I can't change it. I can't alter it. And I can prove word for word what was exchanged between us. Okay? I'm going to continue. Hi Barrie, thanks so much for getting back to me. As I mentioned, we're writing a piece on foreigners who create videos for YouTube and appear in Chinese state media. Okay, we know where this is going already. I understand your video was used in a MOFA, a Ministry of Foreign Affairs briefing recently. So what this reporter is referring to here is as I said, the Hua Chunying glory moment where Hua Chunying and the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the MFA, smacked the BBC publicly and showed them up for what they are. So this reporter is referring to this specifically. I had a few questions to ask and also wanted to share some claims that have been made that I would like to give you a right to reply to, a right of reply to. These are the very words. You claim, it says, to have worked for a newspaper in England for 6 years. Where and when was this? As if they have any right to ask me such a question. As if they have any right to give me a right of reply to some claims that have been made. It is as if they are the hand of God somehow in all this, which they are not. And I'm going to show you how not they are. Why do you think the Ministry of Foreign Affairs used your video in the briefing? What has prompted you to make these videos? And is there a reason? Now, here's the insinuation. Listen to the semantics here, the language. And is there a reason they have become more political over time? So the insinuation, there is a loaded question. It's a loaded question. Is there a reason they have become, my videos have become more political over time? So there's an insinuation in the question. There is an implication, right? This reporter is implying something. It's a loaded question. Here are the claims that I would like to give you a right of reply to. My God, the audacity of these people is unbelievable. Right. Your videos are coordinated to counter investigative reports by independent media outlets on topics such as the treatment of China's Uyghur community. Your videos are part of a disinformation campaign to spread Communist Party rhetoric. You are, get this, you are paid by China to create these videos. Okay, so that's the first set of questions and claims, okay, that this BBC reporter made. I replied on the April the 24th. Hi again, blah, blah. Thanks for your reply. I'll get back to you in more detail later today. Best regards, Barrie. April the 24th, 10 p.m. So I'm answering point by point here, okay? I understand your video was used in an MLFA briefing recently. Correct. Yes, at least one of my videos has been used by the MFA of China spokespersons. Your first question, you claim to have worked for a newspaper in England for 6 years. Yes, it's not a claim, it's a fact. As for your other questions and the claims you say have been made, and that you would like to give me a right of reply to, I would be happy to answer your questions and reply to claims made face to face. That is to say, via a video conference interview with yourself and perhaps even another person that you may have contacted. i.e. Daniel. In fact, I went straight to Daniel because I knew that it was going to be Daniel and me that were the focus of this BBC article. Because our videos were used that fateful day that the BBC were destroyed. As I'm sure the BBC's Kathy Long, the producer at this briefing that got slapped by Hua Chunying, Kathy Long is the name, who says they've become more political over time. You, blah blah blah, the reporter, or the BBC.